on here. Okay. Welcome everybody to Big Down Torah.
Maybe wait a couple of seconds.
Wait a couple seconds,
people
okay?
to get on.
My instructions. Wait a couple seconds. And
Well, no one's on yet.
No one's on yet. Okay. But while waiting, guys, I just want to mention with the Shiur we spoke about on Shabbos with the Chesko that living in Chutz La'aretz is a Chil Hashem. That answers the Rambam, because the Rambam says the Rambam wouldn't hold like the Ramban that's mitzvah live in Eretz Yisrael. The Rambam holds no mitzvah live in Eretz Yisrael, but the Rambam said asat leave. So why? I mean, that's the question. Why is asat leave? According to Rambam, it makes sense to asat leave because mitzvah live in Eretz Yisrael. According to Rambam, there's no mitzvah until the base of Mishnah. Why is asat leave Eretz Yisrael today? So the Pasha of Chesed shows very well that living in Chutz La'aretz, that itself is a Chil Hashem. But it shows you don't believe that Tochav Hashem. So that's why the Ram held was asat leave Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're doing. We're on here.
We're on.
We're on here. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody to Big Down Torah. We're casting live from Eretz Yisrael, Modi'in, and we're going to take up the topic tonight as we are approaching Pesach, a Pesach topic, and as I was thinking about the topic, since Pesach is really such a broad topic, I thought maybe we would try to look at Pesach, so to say, through the eyes of the Akara, follow the Akara through the Seder as much as we can, and work our system that way. So, actually, find that the first time that the Akara appears in our Gemara in Sechus Psachim is on Daf Kuf Yud Daled Amud Aleph, and the Mishnah says Avila Fanav, you bring before him, of course, means the Kara and Mapu B'Chazeres, and the Mishnah goes through a process and it goes on further. Avila Fanav Matzah B'Chazeres Charoses Mishnei Tafshilin. So now the Mishnah before that spoke about Kiddush. So after Kiddush, this is the second Mishnah of the Seder. The first one speaks about Kiddush. That's a regular standard Mishnah. In fact, the Mishnah on Kiddush was our expert in brachos. Yaakov Ayer, aren't they expert in brachos?
No, I'm not an expert.
Who's learning brachos?
I'm learning brachos, but I'm not an
If you're learning brachos, that means you're an expert. You're studying it, right? So this Mishnah appears in brachos. The exact same Mishnah, right? So it's really a brachos Mishnah. But the first Mishnah after this that appears in on Masechet Pesachim is the one that you bring out the Kara. After Kiddush, you bring out the Kara. So it tells us Avila Fanav, close to Rashbam, and obviously not going to get into the details of the Rakos at this point. It's not a concern at this point. But Tosis at the end of that Tosis, if you see at the end of that Tosis, he says Veneer, it seems to be Kippur Shabbeinu Chanano, like a Beinu Chanano. And that's talking about the Ka'ara. But what he's stressing is Avila Fanav Shulchan. After Kiddush, you bring out the Shulchan. After Kiddush, which had the Ka'ara on it. Those days had little smaller tables. So you make Kiddush, and then you bring out the Shulchan had the food right after Kiddush. And Tosha says, She'ein Mevi'in HaShulchan Ala Kiddush. Because you don't bring out the Shulchan, the Ka'ara, until after Kiddush. Val Shulchan Munach HaChazeres. On the Shulchan is all the stuff, the Chazeres, and everything's on the Shulchan. So you bring out the Shulchan after Kiddush. And here is where the Gra stresses that all year round, Friday night, when you make Kiddush, there should be nothing on the table other than the wine. Absolutely nothing on the table other than the wine. And after Kiddush, you bring out the chalos and everything else. And really, Taisus brought it down earlier, and on Daf Kuf Amud Beis, which I've got to zero, but anyway, just one line, it brings out down a shiltos, which says, our Chaim always stress this, that you bring out the food Kavod Shabbos, that the food is brought out Kavod Shabbos. That's Kavod Shabbos. It's like you go to a restaurant. I mean, you go to a restaurant, sit down, the food isn't there already. In fact, as soon as you sit down, they bring out the bread. I want to show you it's fresh, coming out just for you. So Kavod Shabbos is to bring out the food after Kiddush. Now you make Kiddush, Kavod Shabbos, now you bring out the food. And Tosfos over there says, what about that famous medrash that we all know, that the two malachim will walk you home, and if they find that the table is set, they give you a bracha. Tosfos says it means that the food is all set, it's ready to come out. So the chalos already in the kitchen, and as soon as you make kiddush, out it comes on the table. So you're all prepared for Shabbos. So the Gra held all year round. The proper way to make kiddush is to come home. There's nothing on the table but wine, and Reb Chaim was masupik, even if you had salt on the table. But and then after kiddush, you bring out the chalas, and then you make kiddush. Now, on minig, or I should say, most people that I'm aware of usually have the chalas on the table. How that came about is a little bit of a little complex story, but Tosfos points out that the types of tables changed, and that longer tables, and anyway, the system of the Mishnah couldn't work. There was an era where the system of the Mishnah couldn't work, just for practical purposes. So they began to bring out the chalas before Kiddush. But our days, it certainly could work. So that was the Gra. The Gra said it worked, so we should do it. It also came a problem, a concern. Again, that far as my personal knowledge, I never did a national survey, but my personal knowledge of people, houses that I've been in for Shabbos, they light the candles on the table. And the Gra was very much against it. Because the Gra held that if you light the candles on the table, then the table comes muksa. Because it's buses, it's a base for davasa. Then the table comes muksa. And that came a little bit, seems to be a little bit of an encouragement to put the chalas on the table, to say that the table is also a buses for the chalas as well too. That really met its problems, because when you have muksa and non-muksa on the table, so which is the one that the table is supporting is the most expensive one. Now, I don't know where you buy your challahs, but I don't think that they are going to be more expensive than the lighters and the candle that you use for Shabbos, especially with the silver ones. So the idea that the challahs make the table of buses for davas and davar she'eino asa, the Gra didn't seem to accept that, and so the Gra was not in favor. Very strong, committed not to light the Shabbos candles on the table. But you have to keep in mind, you have to light them where you eat. And the big problem is, we're not getting involved in this, but just I'll mention it, that when people go to a hotel, so obviously there's a very big concern of fire concern. So most of the places that I've been at, in fact, all the places I've been out for Shabbos, in a hotel, you have like a special place on the side where everyone lights. And personally, I personally think if you want to, I guess, have an idea what it means to make a bracha of atala, I would think that would be an excellent example. That you light the candles when no one's at, and you walk out and let them burn out. So I would think that would be a good example of bracha of atala. What one should do is, it's a little complicated, but you should try to solve the problem. You should ask someone what to do, because certainly that is not the right thing to do. But there are other suggestions, depends on the hotel. But anyway, so therefore it seems to be that people have problems with the light. You have to light where you eat. You can't light in the side room. You can't do. So somehow the lighters ended up on the table, and somehow the challahs ended up on the table. But if you stick clearly to the text of the Mishnah and the text of Tosfos, the food came out after Kiddush. That was covered Shabbos and covered Yom Tov. Okay, so now let's proceed a little bit further as we move along with the Kara. So now you made Kiddush and you brought out the Kara. And let's see. So what happens next? So the Ram talks about the structure of the Kara. Maybe we'll come back to that. But we want to take up the Rambam in Perek Ches Halacha Beis. Perek Ches Halacha Beis. the Rambam, we have it, you should have it there.
Yeah.
Right,
We have it.
yeah. The Rambam says, Maschil u'mavarich brit adama. You take a brit adama, a vegetable, a yerek, a vegetable, and you make a brit adama. Now, technically speaking, yerek are usually referred to vegetables that one can eat raw. The potato became a very big problem. Many people have the minhag of using potatoes. Rabbi Feinstein Shlita in his Gada points out that is questionable if it comes under the definition of a yerek, because it can't be eaten raw. That's one problem. The potatoes came about because living in Europe, especially in Russia, a frozen country, you weren't getting much vegetables at that time of the year. And the things that were growing were things that were underground. So potatoes able to grow because they're protected from the cold, at least to a certain extent. They're underground. So they had nothing else, so they used potatoes. So potatoes came like a staple. I'll take a question 1 second. In those areas in Russia, in those cold, frozen areas, and somehow, obviously, came to me. There was no choice, nothing you can get, so they used that better than to be mevatel the mitzvah. So the practice came to use potatoes, but Baruch Hashem, but now in places we can get things that qualify for Yerakos. So it's certainly preferred to do that. But anyway, you have a question?
Yeah. Purpose. Does it have to? Can it be anything that's hadama?
No, that's a mistake. Everything no. Rambam says hadam is Yerakos. Has to be vegetables like parsley, celery, things like that. But especially it has to be able to eat raw. One of the requirements.
So one of the requirements, but it has to be like specific. But
things you have to bake, like a potato, it's not a vegetable.
No, like
Parsley also
like hadama things.
It can't be eggs. It has to be a vegetable, and vegetables.
So a strawberry.
Bracha is hadama.
So a watermelon.
Huh?
So a watermelon.
I don't know if watermelon. I don't know if watermelon will. It's hadama, but I don't know if that comes under.
It goes to the ground.
Yeah, but it's not a vegetable.
Hadama is not a requirement. Hadama is a requirement.
But it's not hadama.
Yeah, but it's not a yerek.
Right.
It's not.
I have to look up. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if watermelon comes required for your Yerakos. Something that's used as a vegetable today. That's for sure. Right. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get a chance to look it up. See if I can find something there. Okay. So now we're back here. So we take a vegetable. So you make hadama, and the Ram says two strange things. Seems to be. It says umatbil oso b'charosas. You dip it in charosas. That's number one. V'ochel kazayis. I eat a kazayis of the vegetable. So let's take up the second thing of the Rambam first. So Rambam says eat a kazayis. Now, most of us are familiar with the practice to eat less than a kazayis. That's what the Mechaber says. To eat less than a kazayis. Now, where did that come about? Well, first of all, let's start from the other angle. Why did the Rambam say to eat a kazayis? Why did the Rambam say to eat a kazayis? Rambam stresses to eat a kazayis. So, yeah, go ahead.
Are you saying a bracha on it? And
Huh?
saying a bracha on it, usually the
Make a
bracha.
bracha on one bite. Make a bracha on one bite.
Oh, also, if you wash on it when you dip it, don't you also need a kazayis to make the bracha on the
Oh, I'll
washing?
get that in 1 second. Get that 1 second. Right. That's why you go ahead.
In order for it to be considered a nice stuffy, it needs to be
Oh, right. So we would say that you have to do a shinui. And a shinui was a maisachila. When you make kiddush and you're doing a shinui, the kid is going to ask, "What's happening here?" Manashtana. Now means you have to show something's unusual. You're doing a maisachila, like a little nipple is not really a shinui. Many times after kiddush, you're walking to wash. You see little things on the table, take a little taste. So the shinui really has to be a maisachila. It's something that the child notices. And it's not a maisachila less than a kazayis. That's a nibble. Yeah, it's chayav and bracha. So therefore, Ram says the shin has to be a day maisachila. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, generally when I'm eating something casually, I have more than kazayis. Having daf less than kazayis seems more of a shino in my derech tefillah.
Okay, try one again.
Having less than a kazayis seems more of a shino in my normal derech tefillah than having a full kazayis. When I'm eating, I'm not mocking to have less than kazayis usually. I have more than kazayas generally when I'm eating. That's the basic.
Because I don't think you set the standard for everybody, but there is a standard of a ma'isa achila. Now,
I'm saying so. Isn't it?
okay, wait a minute. Just a moment. The Rambam held that the shinui has to be through a ma'isa achila. That's what the Rambam held. The shinui must be through a ma'isa achila. That's when the Gemara says you got to do a shinui. The Rambam says that shinui means a ma'isa achila. The Rambam didn't call a shinui a nibble. That's clear. That's what the Rambam learned the Gemara. Absolutely clear. That's it. That's it. The Gemara doesn't say eat on standing on one leg. That's also a shinui. I can do that too. I can sit on one leg and eat. That's it. Rouse a kid, right? Or eat behind the fork backwards. No, Rambam learns that the Gemara says the shinui should be through a ma'isa achila. That's the way the Rambam learns. Now, the Mechaba went to less than a kazayas because comes the whole problem. We'll talk about a little bit about a bracha achrona. We'll get that in a minute. Yeah, but there are those that want to bring a raya to the Rambam that the takana in the Gemara was a kazayas, and someone said it before. Because, of course, why? Because we wash before we wash out a bracha. We wash because you're dipping something in liquid. And if you dip something in liquid, the halacha is that from the Gemara that you have to wash. Kol davar shetibul mashka. You have to wash. So now, if it's less than a kazayas, it's not makabel tumah. And it's interesting. The Mishnah Berurah and the Be'er Halacha, brings us down as a proof that that the Rambam is right. It's less than a kazayas. There's no tumah. But it's interesting. Then he puts a footnote. I think it may be the only time that I can think of offhand that after it was printed, he went back and put a footnote in. I happen to have an older set of Mishnah Berurah, and you see, like on the bottom is a little star, and at the bottom looks like it was really written by hand. And he wrote that the Torah says that there are opinions that even less than a kazayas you have to wash. He says, I'm not going to argue with the Torah. Batal baiti eitzel daitam. The Torah says that. Okay, there's a shita. I'm not going to argue with the Torah. So so it seems that because of that, the Mishnah Berurah retracted his proof. Even though there are certainly many that hold that less than a kazayas there's no makabel tumah, even on vegetables. Even on bread, and you don't have to wash. But the Mishnah says that there are, according to Torah, there are deos that say that even less than kazayas is makabel tumah, and therefore you should wash. So that force of the argument is a little weakened because of that Torah. But then comes along the Bach, and the Bach brings an unbelievable proof. Bach comes along brings unbelievable proof. And it's hard to imagine. I don't know why people don't 100% follow the proof of the Bach all the way through. What's the proof of the Bach? So the Bach quotes the Gemara on the base, Kufidal on the base, and the Gemara says, "Shita hechet niga shayirakos." Let's see, do we have it here?
Yeah.
Shita.
So it's the bottom source on the first page.
Which one?
The bottom source on the first page.
Shita, right. So the Gemara is talking about the Gemara. And I gotta keep in mind when you make the Brei Adama, you have to have in mind that Brei Adama goes also for the Mara that you have to hamotzi. Again, to make the point clear, just because you make hamotzi doesn't pater you from all the brachas. It only paters you from brachas that deal with the Suda. Now, if it doesn't deal with the Suda, it doesn't pater you from the bracha. For example, the biggest reminder of this is that Rosh Hashanah at nighttime, you make hamotzi, and then there's a minute to eat an apple, right? To eat an apple. And everyone else, you make eights. Why do you make eights? It's made of hamotzi. The answer is that the eights is not really part of the Suda. Bread isn't like shaka or pot is everything. Bread only pot is that relates to the Suda. So eating an apple has nothing to do with the meal. What does an apple got to do with chicken or meat? So therefore you make a bracha eights. So therefore, after you make hamotzi, so now what's going to happen? You have to take mara. But eating mara by itself is not part of the meal. So if you have to make a gama. So I know people just don't eat mara after.
No, I'm saying like why?
If you eat mara,
people eat fruit eat these vegetables.
Okay.
Obviously, you have
good.
mice and
Okay.
mitzvahs.
Put it this way, many hold.
Mice and mitzvahs.
Many hold that the eating maror, if a person washes and just sits down and eats maror by itself, that will require another bracha. So to safeguard that, we say that when you eat kappas, you make a dama, you should have in mind the maror that you eat after Amotzi. Okay. So now the Gemara raises the question: what happens for kappas? What happens for kappas that you can't find anything but maror? Maror is a vegetable. So kappas, your place like you only find the only thing you can find is maror. So now you have to use maror for kappas and maror for later on. So the Gemara says, pshita, of course. Hey, if for kappas you have other vegetables, you have celery and parsley, of course, then of course, then don't use maror for kappas. Use other vegetables. So if you get enough parsley and celery for kappas, use that, right? For achal eat, and then later when you eat the suda, you make alchis maror on the maror of achal and you eat it, right? That's what we do. That's the right way to do. But what happens? Heichad leka elachasa. Chasa is a type of maror. Let's say you only have chasa, and you can't get anything else. So what do you use for kappas? So you have to use chasa, which is maror for kappas.
Does that mean lettuce?
What? Yeah, I was going to at least translate it very hard. But most people say it means lettuce, which again, it's another topic by itself. What is maror? Many people say it means romaine lettuce. But my brother, my older brother, actually both brothers are older. My oldest brother, he learned at one time in his life, his younger years, he learned in Lakewood by Rabban Kotler, Zechat Bracha, and Rabban Kotler held that any lettuce is maror. Means any lettuce, you don't need iceberg lettuce is maror. And when Rabbi Feinstein wrote his Parish on the Agada, he said that he spoke to Rav Shneur Kotler, because at that time Rabban Kotler was nifter. He said, yeah, that's my father held. Any lettuce is iceberg lettuce is maror. But anyway, but chasa is a type of maror. You want to call it romaine lettuce or regular lettuce, whatever your choice is. That's whatever your minig is. But go ahead.
We're saying that if you have I guess lettuce or let's say romaine lettuce, would that be maror?
Yeah, lettuce.
So
most of our, to my knowledge, most of our poskim today hold that romaine lettuce is maror.
So
A type of maror.
So Rebbe's only saying that you can only make the bracha after washing if it's not part of the meal, right?
Try one again.
Meaning you'd only make a bracha hadama if it's not part of the meal.
Correct. Or if you make the bracha before the meal and you plan to eat it during the meal.
Right, meaning like if you wash and you have like a romaine lettuce salad.
Now, sounds something else. If you just take romaine lettuce, you wash, you sit down, you eat romaine lettuce. According to many, it's not part of the meal. You didn't get a separate entity.
A salad would be different.
No, salad is part of the meal.
Okay.
Yeah, salad's part of the meal. Remember, a lot of these things change by customs, but certainly salad's part of the meal. But you wash and just eat romaine lettuce by itself, as an entity by itself, according to many, you have to make a hadam, right? Right. So anyway, so now the Gemara says that if you have other vegetables for kappas, so of course use them. Make hadam of the other vegetables. And when you wash, then you take out the maror, the chasa, and you make alchias maror for that. But let's say you only have chasa, you can't get anything else. So what does the Gemara say? Heichad delek el chasa, mine. So what should you do? You only have chasa. What should you do? So the Gemara says, Aravuna, mevarach mekara amara. When you first use it for karpas, so you take your chasa and you make on the chasa brei piyadama. So you take your karpas, which is romaine lettuce, and you're using this for karpas. So on this karpas, you make brei piyadama. Correct? You with me? Then v'achel, then you eat it with self at the end. Mevarich alchias maror v'achel. Then later it comes to washing, and you take the karpas, you take the maror again, you make alchias maror. So let's get these scenarios straight. It's not so complicated. Just maybe I'm not elaborating on it. So you only have romaine lettuce. We'll make it easy. For now, we're using romaine lettuce as amara. It's the only thing you have. Nothing else in town but romaine lettuce. So what should you do? So what you do is take up to karpas. So you take karpas, you make bread for adama, and you eat your karpas, and then you go on to your meal. Then you make hamotzi, and then you take your mara again the second time, and you make alchis mara and eat the mara. Right? You follow me? You got the scenario? So you're eating the romaine lettuce twice. The first time you eat romaine lettuce as karpas with the bracha break for adama. The second time you're eating romaine lettuce as mara, and you make alchis mara. That was his suggestion. Correct? We clear on that?
Yeah.
Oh. So Gemara says, Maskiv lo Chisda. Chisda asks him a question. What's his question? La'aka shemile kreso hemenu kos mavarech. After you stuffed your stomach with romaine lettuce by the karpas, after you stuffed your stomach with romaine lettuce by the karpas, now you're gonna make alchias mara by washing you're busting with romaine lettuce. It's like after you shook your lulav and esro and you put it down, that's when you make alchias lulav. You're ready to fall with the mara. So Mara said that can't be a good suggestion. That's a bad suggestion. How can that be? So that was Rav Chisda's question on him. So he answered. Rav Chisda said no. He says what you should do is you should make at karpas. You should make both brachas, alchilas mara and break adama. And have in mind, we'll go on it later on. But what was Rav Chisda's question? How could you even suggest that after you fill your stomach with mara by karpas, later you'll make alchilas mara? You did the mitzvah already. Right, that's his question. Right, we follow me on the question?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
It sounds like a proof to the Rama.
What?
It sounds like a proof to the Rama.
That's what the Bach says. Bach comes along. And the Bach says, I don't see what the argument here is. Bach says, what the argument is. If you don't have to eat a kazayas, the Gemara should have answered Rav Chisda with a very simple answer. Very simple. You only have mara, just take a bite. Don't eat a kazayas. Just take a bite. Don't eat a kazayas. You make a bread for adama, and then what? Bread for adama, and then when it comes to mara, then stop yourself then. But it seems like the Gemara held that karpas, a real ma'aseh that was enough karpas. So Bach said, I don't understand. The Rambam's right. A beautiful proof. That's a very beautiful proof. Yeah. So that's what can I tell you? I mean, look the Bach. What do you say? But so the minute grow was to eat a kazayas. That was the minute grow. The grow for karpas ate a kazayas. So those who were noig minhag hara, which is like the Rambam, the Gra held like the Rambam, was to eat kazayas. And those who, what can I say? Everyone has given on. But one of the reasons why, normally you would say, listen, what's so terrible? Eat a little more. All right? Yeah, machlokas, should I eat a kazayas? I'm not eating kazayas. So be machmir, eat a kazayas. Eat a kazayas, you eat some days. Right? No one says you can't eat a kazayas. No one says you can't eat a kazayas. Actually, the lashon of the Torah was, if you ate a little bit, it's good enough. But it didn't say it's also to eat more than a kazayas. So where did the problem come about that you shouldn't eat more than a kazayas? Because the problem came about, what do you do about the bracha achrona? That came a whole problem. What do you do with bracha achrona? Because the question is the Agada a hefsek, not considered hefsek? It's a whole big discussion by itself. Is the Agada hefsek, not considered hefsek? Sometimes it appears to be a hefsek, sometimes it doesn't appear to be a hefsek. And there are different reasons on it. Example, you make al very pure golf in every single coast. So someone says, because the Agada is hefsek. I want to say no, because every coast needs bracha. It's a major discussion. So I mean, it would seem to be. I mean, that's discussion. So if I say to get out of this machlokas, you make a brain nefashos or not. If you make better eat less than a kazayas. Better eat less than a kazayas. But on the other hand, if you eat less than a kazayas, you may not get the mitzvah of karpas. And what what concerns me is that we say in Shlif the Gemara that the break Dama goes on tomorrow. So we're holding it's not hefsek. If Kagada is a hefsek, then how can we say break Dama is going on tomorrow? In fact, the Gemara who said Rav Chisda's answer was to make break Dama and Mara on the karpas, and then eat karpas again if they're moti. So if it was a hefsek, of course you have to make another bracha or zaytza. So apparently the Gemara is holding that Haggadah is not considered hefsek, at least as far as Mara is concerned. It's considered as an appetizer. But anyway, that was one of the driving forces that seems to be that drove the Beit Yosef to avoid that suffix, to eat less than a gazayas. But to me, it would seem to me that you have a chiyuv to eat gazayas. Now you have a suffix. A suffix brachas lago. But those who want to respond to that answer is you shouldn't put yourself in the suffix in the first place. I'm doing a mitzvah. But the bottom line is that the gra, those who like minhag gra, those who do like the Rambam, we eat kazayas. And those who like the Bet Yosef, Yeah. Oh. Okay. So now we said the Rambam mentions another point here. Rambam says you put it in charoses. Yeah, you dip the karpas in charoses. You dip the karpas in charoses. Yeah. So why does the Rambam say that you dip the karpas in charoses? Yeah, and by the way, it's not just the Rambam. The Gos Manas B'Yamin Rishon held that. Yeah. So why does the Rambam say dip the karpas in charoses? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if we say in the Shas that you're supposed to be tovel in something, and it doesn't specify what you should tovel in.
Well, the Rambam's not saying as a suggestion. I'm saying you have to.
No, but I'm saying Pashtus is.
I'm saying dip it.
Pashtus on Seder night. If the Gemara says you should tovel something, Pashtus is that's referring. What else could it be referring to? It's referring to
Salt water. They used to they had all these dips.
That was normal.
That all, yeah, sure. Only charoses was a big thing for night of Seder. Charoses was a big thing night of Seder. The Gemara says that how do you make charoses? Also the Rambam also the Gemara's writing recipes. You don't find too often the Gemara writes a recipe. Also charoses.
We already know the charoses is the tibul of the Seder. I mean, we already know it's being used for all these other things.
Is what?
We already know charoses is being used for Tfilas Amara, or it's being used for.
I'll tell you. I'll found that in a second. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the eating of the dip is like to have something, I guess, bitter or something. Doesn't really taste that great. And I think that the Rambam's sclerosis was kind of like vinegar and some other things, and saying that's not so far off.
So why must the Rambam say? Rambam says dip it. Why must the Rambam say dip it charoses? And tibul. Why? If I don't use charoses, it looks like I'm missing. Let's say according to Rambam, I have salt water. Am I missing something according to Rambam?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What am I missing? But we have another problem. If you go for a minute to the Rambam, the Rambam talks about hamotzi. Yeah, motzi. So the Rambam says, in Perek Ches Halacha Ches. So Rambam says, it goes through the Seder when you have carbon Pesach. This is Mazesh ain't shom carbon. We have to have a carbon. So how do we do it in our days? So achash mavarach hamotzi lechem. If they make hamotzi, then what do we do? Chos mavarach al chos matzah. You make the bracha al chos matzah. Umatbil matzah b'charoses. You dip the matzah in charoses. Now you're not going to tell me that was the style of people to do that. That wasn't the tibul. You dip the matzah in charoses. Why? Why does that come about? Why now the Rambam, the Gemara, everyone agrees different charoses. Okay, that's the Gemara says, give reasons, whatever it is, health reasons, whatever it is, fine, that's the Gemara. Okay, that the Gemara says. Now the Rambam's ending, you have to do charoses for the karpas. You have to do charoses for the matzah. By the way, Some have a minhag on hamotzi. Moshe, he used to put salt on the matzah, because matzah is made without salt. So after you made a matzah, people salt on the matzah. Yeah, okay. But the Rambam is saying is you have to dip the matzah in haroses. So now we're seeing that there's an idea that the Rambam is insisting is part of the Seder. That's the haroses. There's only one major eating which the Rambam switches tracks and doesn't say that you have to have dipping in haroses. And that is what? That is, just a moment, right? Hang on, right? Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, in halacha tes, right? So after you do this, the Rambam says, "Achach nimshach b'suda, yigisuda, v'hol kol mashu rotz lechol, v'shel kol mashu rotz lechol, b'achrona aser b'psah pesach, filu kazayis, ain't tamachal klau." So you eat b'sah pesach, that's it. Ubizman hazeh, ochel kazayis matzah, ain't tamachal klau. Klum. Oh, interesting. That's the afikomen. So we call the afikomen there. The afikomen, the Rambam, or the Korban Pesach didn't do charoses. Seems to be the exception to the rule. Karpas have different charoses. Alchis Matzah have different charoses. When it comes to the Afikomen, the Rambam suspended his rule. Yeah. So there must be some formula here. So what must we say? So you have to say the charoses, I mean, just the kitzah, the charoses. One element of the Gemara is, which you see the Rambam sheet there, it represents the mortar, the tit, and that mortar is avdus. Mortar is a concept of avdus. That's right. It's mortar. That's avdus. So the Rambam's shita is that you always must express at all the achilas the concept of avdus. That when you eat the matzah, you must express an element of avdus when you eat the matzah. When you eat the karpas, you must express the element of avdus. Every achila must show an element of avdus, except why Korban Pesach?
Because it's not.
Because Korban Pesach is chayris, par excellence. Korban Pesach is freedom. That's it. The end of avdus. So that's why by Korban Pesach, which I come in, you don't use charoses. So that's the
You also say a more halachic idea of the fact that you have to keep the tom of the Korban Pesach from your mouth, and the charoses is not Korban Pesach. The afikomen is you're supposed to.
That what?
The last thing you're supposed to eat, it's marin is
Yeah.
afikomen, and it should the taste should be in your mouth. So
That's also a possibility that the Rambam might have held that you wouldn't have the tom in your mouth, you have charoses. That's also a possibility. Right? That's a possibility. Correct. But it's certainly sure that you must say that alachus matzah, karpas, on expression, you must express avdus when you eat those are eaten. That must be. That could be right. Could be felt that killed tam Pesach. Could or which I think the idea is anyway a true idea. Korban Pesach is no avdus. It's the end of avdus. Okay, so now we also notice. Yeah, we also notice. What else do we notice here? And we now enter to a very major machlokas here. Yeah. So first of all, just b'derech agav, what do we have here? That what do we have here? That what? That the element, that you have to wash before tibul rishon. Okay, that's a topic by itself, but you do see that the Gra held that anything, actually it's the Gemara, anything that is dipped in one of the 7 liquids requires natila. Correct. Requires natila. I mean, why is it that we only do? Why is it that we do? Why is it that we do kappas? We dip in. We wash for kappas. Why do we wash for kappas? Right? Because you dip it in a liquid. That liquid requires natila. That liquid requires natila. Yeah. So why do you ask Mashal Alazeh? Why only tonight? Also now we come machmer. Yeah. So the ground that all year round, that if you dip in one of the 7 liquids, you have to wash your hands. With a bracha. Yeah. But many of the Rishonim will know that since we're not noyeg tum anymore, so you don't have to dip. So you don't have to wash your hands. So those I don't know anybody's noyeg strictly like the Gra. I don't know anybody, it could be. To make a bracha is how I do it. I don't know.
What's up?
But many people take on the chumrah of the Gra, and that would be like, so you take breakfast cereal with milk, right? Breakfast cereal with milk. So someone would bring down to eat it with a spoon. First, I'm not so sure if the head is not on top of myself, but certainly if you've been around the shiva eating, I don't think the guys so much, but not touching the food. They get their hands on food any way they can. Don't touch it. But anyway, it's a whole big topic by itself. Is spoon good and not good? But anyway, but from here, the Gra wants to prove that we're still noyeg. The minhag still is that to a mashke you have to wash your hands, and the Gra taka wash with the bracha. The Gra taka wash with the bracha. I tell the story of the Gra. The Gra was once traveling through Europe. The Gra wanted to make it to Eretz Yisrael. He never made it. His Talmidim made it. That's why Talmidei Gra have a big impact on the minhagim there. Wherever Talmidei Gra and the Sfadim have the same minhag, that came minhag Eretz Yisrael. That's not saying Baruch Hashem never made. The Gra didn't say it, and the Sfadim say it. So wherever those two powerful sources met together in Eretz Yisrael, it came minhag Eretz Yisrael. So they say one, he was traveling, could make it back home. So I went to a town, and they need a place to stay there. So they told him, go to the road. So I went to the road. No, he didn't now, so I'm the Gra. It's okay. Brooks in here. Yes. So first the road thought this guy probably never went to Yeshiva. Comes out, he's eating his karpas like hasn't eaten for a week. He washes, makes a bracha, and then he only has doesn't have 3 matzahs. So the story goes, the Rav this guy probably never went to Yeshiva, never learned anything, never went to elementary school. Then the Rav realized that everything this guy does is a shita, because the Rav is now Talmid Chacham. So the Rav this guy must be a big Talmid Chacham. Then he's taught him learning, and certainly if you want to, we'll see. The Rambam says that there's a minute to make shinuyim the night of the Seder. We had them. I don't have time to go into, but Ram says earlier, Gemara, you throw nuts on the table, and other different shinuyim. So we really have 2 types of shinuyim. If you look over here, the Rambam is in Perek Zayin, right? Yeah, Perek Zayin, the Rambam says, here, Perek Halacha Gimel, but so lasso shinu b'lay lazeh. Have to make shinuyim, differences. Today, Shiur abundant, children should see. Yishuv, manish no lazeh. Kol elos. Right. So you got to get them excited, right? But then you see, you have the manashtana, which is Perek Ches. So we really have 2 types of shinuyim. Some shinuyim are spontaneous, like you put nuts on the table, you pull matzahs to one another. Hey, what's going on here? And others, which is Perek Ches, shinuyim deal with halacha, halacha shinuyim. So the Rav said that the Rav Chaim is to every year try to come up with a new idea, because the kids remember from the year before. So they come up with a new idea. Like he said, one year sat down at the table, also Chaim took some matzah and put it on his back, on his shoulder, started walking around the table. The kids asking, what's Zadie doing? And told them that that's the way he went on with Mitzrayim. So he tried to come up with a new idea. I just personally found that my kids growing up, they learned how to do the Seder, like the Mechaber, the standard way, and they came to night of the Seder. All of a sudden, they started saying, hey, what happened to the 3rd matzah? So just by doing the Gra, I was Mekayim both shittas. I was going to the Gra, and I got the kids to ask. And so yes, it was an extra plus. But Yaakov Kamenetsky, he was very much against. Teaching the Seder in schools. He says it's supposed to be not a Seder. It's supposed to be Yachom Rosh Chodesh, B'Yom Ha'u. So he says the wrong things. It really should be spontaneous. It's a big problem. What the Rebbe Feinstein spoke about also. It's a big problem. Come to the Seder, and the way it's coming out now, that the kids have all the things, and they're telling the fathers what to do. It really takes away it detracts from the mitzvah. You got the Levincha. So even though the kids come with a lot of Torah, but certainly the father should be prepared. Of course, every person on their level, but with something that he's giving over to his family, and might require a little extra work. Might require to do a little research, but he should certainly be prepared that he should be the leader of the Seder and tell over his ideas. There's nothing wrong with having new ideas, but there should be a king. But anyway, so going back here to the Rambam, so we have like this. So the Rambam says Allah Havav, oh, you're right. Right, so so the Grub made the bracha twice. We're not to make a bracha, and most people like not to even wash. There's some on the other shitos, but those who like the bracha, many people will wash it out of bracha. But anyway, so the Rambam says, what do you do? The Rambam says, so here comes Allah Havav, Shiur, and you wash again. So you see, it's not so simple. To say that God is not a hefsek. Here the Rambam says very clearly, you have to wash your hands again. It's a hefsek. So there is the concept of a hefsek.
What's the difference here and there?
Huh?
What's the difference between these two instances?
I can't hear.
What's the difference between here, where the Haggadah is considered hefsek, and over where we said by the Mar or by
No, so it could be the Rambam Paskin. Could be, we don't know. Could be the Rambam Paskin made to burn the fashos.
Really?
Could be. We don't know. It's hard to say that.
Why? In theory, why wouldn't you?
Huh?
In theory, why wouldn't you?
Because it's part of the deal. So it's not hefsek. So you're going to get a bench. So the tiny that God is a hefsek has its roots in halacha. It's not such a pushed off tiny. It has its sources here. So it's not so simple. So the tiny that you run into a problem burning fashos is a strong tiny. It's not just something to think about. The art proof's going both ways. Let's stop by itself. Just can't go into it now. Yeah, go ahead.
What we said earlier about Mara, right, and by the car class. The reason why we're washing is because the lettuce is a part of the meal, right? So therefore.
No. Washing anything you dip in liquid, you have to wash.
Although only if it's not part of the meal.
No, anything. You wash for the meal, you have to wash again. But if you take a carrot and you want to dip it into some type of
even after making a motzi?
No, because the wash for motzi works for that.
Right.
So the Rambam is saying, why doesn't the wash for kapas work for the motzi, for the bread?
Right.
That's the Rambam's kasha. Why does the washing of the kapas work for the bread? So because I got those hefsek.
Okay.
Right. So someone to say for washing, that's another topic. Washing because you're talking Torah, you don't wash your hands. That's another topic. Let's go into it now. But anyway, let's go back over here. So the Rambam says, V'lokech shnei rikikim, and you take two matzahs, cholak echal mehem, you break one in half, umaniach paras b'tzach shalem. You have paras b'tzach shalem. So that starts the famous machlokas. How many matzahs do you have at the table?
Oh yeah.
So the Rambam had two. Right? Then he broke one and he had a half. So one as it came to a motzi, he had a matzah and a half. Yeah. So the Balatosis had a problem with that. What was the problem of the Balatosis? So if you look on Tosis, look I tell you that Kuf Tezayin, Ma Dako Shalim Beprusa, because the Gemara says, you have it there.
Yeah.
So Ma Dako Shalim Prusa, so that means the Prusa, the broken piece represents lechem oni, because to get a whole bread, an oni runs around when he gets anything left over. He gets the bakery has bread that's been half cut and half that. They'll give him the leftovers, easy to get. So an oni, any bread you can get. So when he gets a piece, he's happy to get a piece. So then Tosh goes to the whole thing over here. We'll have to skip down a little bit, And so then comes the problem. If you look in the middle, I think it's underlined there. On Shabbos, you have to make Lecha Mishnah. Shnei Malach do Lecha Mishnah. You have to take Lecha Mishnah. Vilkom Los B'Chiyah Ba'aba. So Elo Hachi Ma'isilu Hasam Acher Pesach Lo Moshitzach Sham Matzah Shlishis. Mishum Lecha Mishnah. L'Chayav L'Vtzal Shtei Kikaras. So that's where the third matzah came from. Third matzah came from. If you do like the Rambam, why? You do like the Rambam and you break your matzah. So you make hamotzi on a matzah and a half, and you don't have lecha mishnah. And Taisa, you don't have lecha mishnah. So this year, so Taisa's kash is not the Rambam, but that shita apparently is a well-known shita. So that shita only has two matzahs. You don't have lecha mishnah. So Taisa says if you ate a third matzah, so now you make hamotzi on lecha mishnah, and then you drop the third one, and go so on and so forth. So that's where the third matzah came from. That's the kasha. The kasha is how do you give up? How do you give lecha mishnah? That's the kasha on the Shittas Rambam. So many years ago, I was learning to with my brother. Brother came out with a beautiful answer. And brother said that the idea of shalem is a hida mitzvah. Shalem is a din all year round. If you come, let's say, for breakfast, and you have a full challah roll or a full bagel, you have a piece of bread, you wash to make a motzi. You should make a motzi on the shtor shalom, on the bread, even during the week. Davar shalom is a hida mitzvah. Make a bracha, it'll be nice. You want to eat an apple. You have to have pieces of apple or a whole apple. Okay, so make a bracha on davar shalom. So davar shalom is really is a hida mitzvah. We make a bracha, should be davar shalom. Lecha Mishnah means two, but then there's the hida mitzvah of davar shalom. So brother wants to say that the Rambam held that the night of the Seder, the hida mitzvah is lechem oni. That's the hida mitzvah. So the din of lechem oni supersedes the din of shleimus. The din of lechem oni overrides the din of shleimus. So therefore, it's not that the Rambam's missing it, but the Rambam holds that this is the hida mitzvah of the night, is to have lechem oni. That supersedes the din of shleimus. So that's Shittas Rambam, that's Shittas Agra. So Moshe also held two matzahs. The Rav also held two matzahs. So I want to ask Moshe, how was he machriya between, you have two great giants. What was the source that made Rav Moshe machriya between the Rambam and the Baitosis? So Moshe told me that what disturbed him, the Shittas Tosis is supposed to have lechem oni. What does lechem oni mean? Lechem oni is you're missing something. That's not a prusa. You can't even get a whole matzah. You can't get a whole piece of bread. He's missing something. Can't get a shalem. That's the lechem oni. So Moshe bothered him was that according to the Baitosis, you lost the din of lechem oni. Or you have two matzahs. Now you have 2.5. What is he missing? He has something extra. You don't see from the car itself. It must show that you're missing something. You have a car with 2.5 matzahs. What do you show you're missing? You have extra. So the extra is not showing. So Moshe said that's why he felt that the Gra and the Rambam, the din of lechem only is more nicker immediately in the Kara, and therefore he did like the Gra. So he did like the Gra. Yeah. So again, it's two Menachim, and everyone has a minute. Okay, very good. I just want to take up. Go very quickly. Go.
Also, we were discussing this the other night. Also, where's this concept of lechem mishnah by Yom Tov?
Taisa talks about it. Do we apply? That's over here. Look at Taisa. Yes, some say apply to the year. Right?
I guess it was on Shabbos that it fell.
Well, even Shabbos, right?
It was Shabbos that it wasn't Yom Tov that the bread money was falling.
Well, again.
Right, was it? It was Shabbos.
Well, Shabbos, right.
Not Yom Tov.
Right, the Ikad din is Shabbos, that's for sure.
So
look at Taisa said that applies to here. Don't mention right. Ben b'Shabbos, Ben b'Yantiv.
Why?
Okay, look at Taisa. Later, I just can't go. Taisa, big name show Shabbos. Yeah, well, I'm in the gift. Yeah, Yantiv too.
Right, yeah.
But it doesn't make a difference. So Shabbos doesn't make a difference. Okay. So then we want to say this. This one more thing we want to say is here. So the Rambam back to the Ka'ara. back to the Ka'ara, the Rambam says, if you go back to the Ka'ara, you say, why the Rambam have? So the Ka'ara, let's go back to Perek Ches, Halacha Aleph, correct, Halacha Aleph, and the Rambam says, you bring out Mevin Shulchan Aruch Olav Mora, V'Yerik Acheb, is right, or Matzah Charosis, the Guf Shokeves of Pesach, that's the Zan Beis Mission, Basach Chagiga, Shil Abrasa. Ubezman Hazeh, and today's times, Mevin Al Shulchan, Shnei Minei Basa, two types of meat. Echad Zechel Pesach, Zechel Chagiga. So Shnei Tafshilin again, the different minhagim. The Rambam held should be two types of meat. One should be roasted, and one should be cooked. Many people have different minhagim. The Gemara brings out different minhagim. But the Rambam should really be doma to the kabbalah. Should be doma to the kabbalas. And some people, as a minig, some people use an egg. Right? People don't use an egg as one of the shnei tafshilin. Why an egg? So all different reasons. But one reason is, and some people have a minig to eat an egg. Right? So why? What's the reason for the egg? So there are a few reasons, but one reason is because an egg is availous. An egg is availous. Something round. And the first meal that an Avil has coming back from the funeral is Sudas Havrah. And the main was, the price is, you give something round. It comes back from Esav, Yaakov, story over there. But anyway, that's the main. So egg was for Avel. So what does Avel's got to do? So what Avel's has to do is that Zechel Mikdash, the rest of it is destroyed. And they point out that the night of Pesach is always the same night of Tisha B'Av. It's always the same night of Tisha B'Av. So therefore, they use that to remind us. That when our school in Chol Beis Hamikdash school, the Chol school, we always use Zechel Mikdash to remind us. That's where it came from. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you mean it's the last night? I mean, it's the same.
Every night Pesach comes out, Tisha B'Av out. Tisha B'Av on Shabbos this year. Right. So it's Nidchet, the Sunday. Right. So it's always, so therefore, others are not so much in favor of that because there's no Avel Center. You don't practice Avel Center. Right. Okay, but anyway. Okay, so those are different arguments. But we do many things Zechel Mikdash. So many things do. Many takanas are made Zechel Mikdash. You can buy a wedding was Zechel Mikdash. You can break a glass Zechel Mikdash. And there are many things Zechel Mikdash because it's part of Klal Yisrael. And of course, I feel I just cannot end off the Shiur without mentioning that we're living in a very, in my opinion, a very disturbing time. This is, as far as I know, the first time in Jewish history that the only thing that's stopping people today from bringing Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach is a very complicated thing. Listen, I'm not saying it's easy, but the Chassam Sofer, possibly go ahead and do it. Other people keep aid, I think. But the only thing that's stopping the people from bringing Korban Pesach, many people bring it, but they really don't not. Listen, many people drink Chalav Yisrael, many people don't drink Chalav Yisrael. So different minhagim. But there are many people willing to go bring Korban Pesach. But the first time in Jewish history that the only thing that's stopping people from bringing Korban Pesach today is the Jewish people. Never do we have in history that the Jewish people held back from others from bringing Korban Pesach. You had the Romans, you had the Greeks, right? You had the Crusades, you had the Ottoman Empire, you had the Turks, the British. But the Jewish people should hold back. Never that ever happened, in my knowledge. I'll tell you even more than that, which became very disturbing to me last week. I was at a meeting, and it brought to my mind. I was just shocked. We were there with the Chevrat Knesset, and I was brought to a meeting that, and the Misran at the Tot, the Ministry of Religion in Israel today has a list of all the holy sites that are holy to the Jewish people in the modern state of Israel. Mars Machpelah is there. The Western Wall, Herod's Western Wall is there. What is missing from the list? Is the Temple Mount. It's not on the list. What? I couldn't believe it. I just saw what you said over again. The Har Bias as a holy site to the Jewish people is not on the list. And the meeting's going on. They're going to, this Chavat Knesset going to pass. Hopefully she'll get in. Going to pass a bill that must be on the side that tells them. Just shocking. I thought it was just shocking. So for me personally, I don't know if I should change the meeting and start eating an egg this year. The Veils is right in front of me, right in front of us. We never had such a situation like this, and I only hope and be mispalo that Akash Baruch Hu will hear our tefillos, and we still have time yet. It's not Rosh Chodesh yet. Pashas Parah, Rosh Chodesh, and we should be zocha to this year. We could still do it. Many people could do it. I mean, many ways that could be done. There are Talmid Chacham, tell me they can get it up there and then less than 24 hours in the Mizbeach. Now, listen, I mean, I agree with the Shitas, but okay, they want to do it. Kol kavod, listen, they're right to their psak. I'm talking about big Talmid Chacham, which they have a lot of good support. Like I said, the Chassam Sofa, so go ahead and do it. The Chazon Ish writes. One of the questions is about a Kohen Yuchas. Chazon Ish writes that if you get permission, remember he was nifted in the 1950s. So if you get permission from the government, that time it was under Jordan, but if you get permission from the government to build a Mizbeach, Kohen Yuchas should not stop you. Go ahead and build one. That was under Jordan. He's writing that. Now the Jewish people. So I'm thinking seriously. Maybe I should go back. Maybe I should have the minute of eating egg. Okay, yes, good.
I know many Achronim bring down not to have.
Again?
I know many Achronim bring down not to have roasted meat on.
But you roasted another problem.
Right,
Not the night of the Seder. Not the night of the Seder.
Right, the night of the Seder. So does the Rambam hold of that? And if so,
Turn on a minute.
That's-
I'm saying, minute. Malcolm Shinogo. Thanks for around passing again. I'll look later, but grab Mara, right?
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Minute. Memnun. Minute, right? Minute Yisrael Din. Minute at the crop. You're going to Yisrael Din. Minute Gross is
Right, no, so I'm saying, when he says that should be a remembrance. These two, we bring two judicious to meet Lazefer, the Korban Chagiga, and the Korban Pesach. So I'm saying, wouldn't you want to do roasted meat as?
Yeah, the Rambam held you roasted meat, but you can't eat it night of Seder. In fact, you shouldn't pick it up. It looks like eating
Okay,
carbon.
so those two, the shame Mine Chilin that he brings, or Mine Basar, should not be roasted.
No, one is roasted.
One is roasted.
And one is cooked.
You can't eat it. You can't
You can't eat it.
You only
You can't, and you shouldn't, when you say Pesach Zeh, you shouldn't lift it up.
Okay.
Because it looks like you're eating kachim b'chutz.
Okay.
Right? Correct? Right, by the way, the Mishnah says that if you do like the Rambam, everyone's really something good. Some people think you shouldn't do it. No, everyone, the Rambam sheet is certainly good. Other people have different on them, but the Rambam sheet is certainly good. Okay, we'll stop there. You ready for Marv? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.